Today is going to be a great day. I am Nikki G, your host, and welcome to the Lone Doctrine. I am your weekly dose of constructive food for thought. In this month's topic of getting through the hard times, I'd like to talk about some of the ins and outs of life's more difficult moments. If you're new to the Lone Doctrine, we pick a topic every single month. And so I invite you to go back to the beginning and catch up to the current moment as of now to get your food for thought in order to get your mind on the right track and live a great life. Every single week, I am here with you to give you that dose of constructive food for thought to take that next step forward in your own personal development. No matter what you're struggling with, whether it's past or present, possibly even worry of the future, the pursuit in making the effort to move through will guide you towards clarity, peace, and healing. I reiterate this concept a lot, but it's because it's one challenge I see the most with those I've supported through difficult times, and that is the acknowledgement of your feelings. I've studied a lot about human behavior and psychology, plus I've also worked with a lot of people who have experienced very challenging life situations. The first go-to for most people is to avoid any negative emotion at all costs, even if the cost is their own physical or mental well-being. Avoiding negative feelings may have been taught. It also may make you feel like you're being strong or stopping the effects, but all you're doing is postponing and possibly even worsening the feelings. This process of suppressing your feelings is also referred to as the pressure cooker analogy. It goes a little something like this. Is that a song? When we bottle up our emotions and feelings, it shunts lots of energy into certain places and diverts and blocks energy in other places in our bodies and minds. It makes us feel like we can't express how we feel, usually because it's not safe to do so. It makes us feel like we're going to blow, and we usually do, at the most inopportune moment. The longer we deny how we really feel, the bigger that pressure cooker becomes. While we're learning or relearning to express our feelings and emotions in a more healthy manner, we'll likely swing between being passive and aggressive. Both are forms of anger. Being passive makes us angry with ourselves and gives us another chance to judge and criticize ourselves, which depletes our energy. And being aggressive is usually an inappropriate way of getting angry at others. Whether we feel justified or not, others usually tune out when we see and hear us behaving like raving lunatics. When we allow ourselves to feel all our feelings, we'll find a more peaceful and assertive way to communicate with ourselves and others because there won't be a big volcano of unprocessed emotions waiting to erupt. We want to try to take our mindset away from the pressure cooker. I've seen this happen time and time again. I've even witnessed someone's sadness turning into rage. I've seen frustration over small matters turn into angry scenarios, even irrational scenarios. I've seen many people lose composure over something insignificant because of a hardship that had nothing to do with the current situation, but sometimes something else they had refused to face. Let me share a story. Mr. B was the top in a very large company. Every morning he would meet some of his coworkers for breakfast. On this particular morning, he lost track of time. He looked at his watch and realized he was going to be late for work. He left the restaurant and jumped in his car. He barely had the engine started when he threw it into reverse to back out. He burned rubber leaving the parking lot. As he got on the freeway, he put the gas to the fiberglass. As he sped down the highway, he looked in his rearview mirror. His heart skipped a beat when he saw flashing lights. He pulled over and rolled down his window. "Where are you going in such a hurry?" the officer asked. "I'm needed at work. I'm a very important man." "Well, you're not above the law." "I didn't say I was, but shouldn't you be chasing real criminals and leave me alone?" "I'll leave you alone in a few minutes. Let me see your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance." Mr. B handed him the requested information. Then he sat there and stewed. As the minutes passed by, he got more and more angry. The officer came back and handed him a ticket, along with the rest of his documents. He grabbed them out of the officer's hand, rolled up his window, and took off down the road. He finally arrived at work. He was late. When he got to work, the first person he saw was his sales manager. "Good morning, Mr. B," said the sales manager with a smile. "There's nothing good about it," barked Mr. B. "I want to see you in my office now." The sales manager followed him into the office. As Mr. B threw his coat down on the couch, he yelled at the sales manager. "You fell short of your goal last week for the second time in a row. I want to know what you're going to do to get back on track, and I want to know now." "Mr. B," the sales manager objected, "we just talked about this yesterday. We have 4 big deals. Any one of them will put us over the top, and I'm sure we'll at least get one of them." "I'll believe it when I see it," Mr. B blurted out while looking at some papers on his desk. "You're dismissed." The bewildered sales manager walked back to his office. When he got there, the first person he saw was his assistant. He screamed at her. She screamed at someone who screamed at someone else. And so it went for the rest of the day. Eventually, the receptionist got yelled at. When she got home, the first person she saw was her 12-year-old boy. She yelled at him and sent him to his room for leaving toys on the floor. On the way to his room, the family dog walked in front of him, and he kicked the dog. So here's the question. Wouldn't it have been much better for everyone involved if Mr. B had just gone directly to the receptionist's house and kicked the dog himself? And here's an even more important question. Whose dog are you kicking? Ignoring your emotions is like trying to outrun yourself. The only way to find peace is to face the music. It doesn't mean you wallow in the emotions, give up, or give in. It's taking the time to get to know yourself well enough to face your genuine emotions, whether good or challenging, and continuing to push forward. It's about you, not anyone else. Trust me, I've learned to face my emotions head on, and I've been through and seen some great tragedies. If I wouldn't have faced the music, I know for a fact I would be in a very different place, and I know for a fact that the ripple effect of our emotions can cause an innocent bystander, like a dog, sometimes to get kicked. And who wants to kick a dog? I mean, come on. Your feelings are a part of your journey. It's the only compass you have to genuinely experience life. Each of us feel in different ways, and everyone heals in different ways. If you're listening to this today, know you're not alone. We are here to support you through your difficult times and to celebrate with you during your good times. But no matter what, keep fighting the good fight.
It's a great day.